Hi everyone, Dr. Nick Totopoulos here with Rhyme Signatures, the nerdiest music review this side of needing a lot of fish to distract an ancient nuclear-powered lizard. And today we're going to be doing a review of the new Ryo Okumoto album, The Myth of the Mostrophus. At university, I entered what I like to think of as my current age of musical appreciation. I ditched the thrash metal of my formative years, and thoroughly ditched the nu metal of my mid to late teens. Proud moments. I wanted something more fulfilling, but I didn't really know what I actually fancied, though, so what's the guide to do? So, I was lurking on this old forum, I can't remember which one it was, some thing, and I happened upon a music recommendation thread. How exciting. I posted what I currently liked, and someone told me that I should check out Dream Theater's A Change of Seasons. And they gave me a long list of other bands as well to look at if I gelled with that song. I consider A Change of Seasons to this day to be my favourite song. Like, ever. So you can bet your bottom dollar I explored every inch of the other bands on that list given to me. I discovered Riverside, Opeth, Pain of Salvation, Aerion, Shadow Gallery, amongst others, and one amusingly named band who really stuck out to me. Spock's Beard. I remember quite distinctly cutting my teeth on The Devil's Got My Throat, from what I consider to be their crowning masterpiece, Snow. I was hooked. Neil Morse's vocals were glorious, the compositions and songwriting were whimsical yet engaging, but above all, Mr. Ryo Okumoto's keyboards were everything my early 20s brain had been looking for. Okumoto has been part of the furniture for Spock's Beard for, well, I suppose most of the life of the band. It's only really bassist Dave Meros who's done more time than him, but only Okumoto has a song named after him. And as such, though, it's become very easy to recognise his signature style and feel nothing but appreciation for how much of the band's sound is owed to his contributions and compositions. Simply put, for me, without him, there is no Spock's Beard. So imagine my surprise and intrigue when I saw that he was putting out a new solo record, his first one in 20 years. I was a little wary though, as some other integral keyboard players to other large prog bands whose names might rhyme with boredom through this, have put out some frankly dreadful and tedious ego-stroking, ivory-tinkling wankery under a solo name. Yes, well done, you can play 800 notes a second and have contributed to possibly the worst live performance of Porcupine Tree's delicate, intimate, understated ballad, Lazarus. Bravo. Woohoo for you. Sorry about that, a little carried away, a little bit of a bee in my bonnet about that. So anyway, I digress. What was to be the deal with this album? 50 minutes of instrumentals, maybe? A stripped-down piano record? Oh, it's called The Myth of the Mostrophus. And there's some Godzilla-looking fella on the cover. Interesting. Let's check out the personnel. Nick DeVirgilio, Dave Meros, Alan Morse, Ted Leonard. Hang on. This is Spock's Beard in disguise. Another level of beards to the Spock. Surely this is Spock's Beard's beard. But wait, there's more. Steve Hackett, Doug Wimbish and Jimmy Keegan, amongst others, have been dragged along as features. The calibre and quantity of guest musicians on this album is insane. So now I'm really interested. And after a dozen listens, give or take, this record is absolutely, hands down, the best Spock's Beard album for me since Snow. I absolutely love this. On face value, the album is pretty standard, looking for a prog rock thing. It's kind of following a 6-song structure with 5 songs in the 6 to 9 minutes range, and a capstone 22-minute epic. We'll get to that one later. Things kick off quite nicely, really, with Mirror Mirror, a not-so-subtle nod to the episode of Star Trek where Spock's alternate dimension sports his famous beard, which unashamedly demonstrates some killer Beard 2.0 vibes, feeling like a song that would fit in quite nicely on the Oblivion Particle or Noise Floor, but with NDV taking care of vocals here instead of Leonard. It's a comfortable fit for anyone familiar with Spock's, and manages to make its presence memorable despite the familiarity. It's kind of a cosy book by the fire kind of song. It's something Okumoto knows fans will like, even if it doesn't stray outside the lines that much. Ryo gets some fantastic keyboard lines as expected, But Meros's bass work and Morse's guitars take just as much centre stage, with some really thick lines and soaring solos to be found here. I'm a particular fan of the escalation of the song around the 7-minute mark, give or take, especially NDV's vocal delivery. It's a great start to the album and serves off as a really strong kickoff. It's the 4 songs that follow that mark this out as more of an Okumoto solo record than just a new Spock's Beard one, it giving us some more varied personnel rather than just leaning on his bandmates. Turning Point features Michael Sadler on lead vocals, and there's some really, really great jazzy, soaring delivery from him, undercut by, frankly, the absolutely brilliant twangy bass lines from Meros again. The Watchmaker, Time on His Side, Maximum Velocity and Chrysalis round out the record, continuing the trend with each bringing their own profile to the album. Every song managing to stand alone and make a really strong impact on the listener. From 80s-infused keyboards and playful vocals to gentle acoustic guitar lines, thrilling drum beats and introspective ballads, there's a lot of variety of sounds and ideas on these first 5 songs. Okumoto hasn't phoned anything in here, and Rich Mauser's mixing sounds unbelievable. The record is broad and full, with every instrument shining, and nothing in the slightest bit sounds anyway buried. They've done a really stellar job on the mixing of this record. So okay, let's get to what I really want to talk about. The final epic, the title song, the myth of the Mostrophus. The kaiju-sized behemoth of a 22-minuter. But first, a little word of caution. The lactose intolerance should not apply for this song. Now, I can take or leave cheese in my music. I generally don't enjoy power metal, as I find it too cringe, as the kids say these days, to listen to an entire album. But there are certain brands, flavours and profiles of fromage that I can not only stomach, but happily devour all day, which is ironic because in real life I can't eat it. This song is cheese. Pure, unfiltered, undiluted Stilton, and I love it for it. Broad strokes. It's about a millennia-old giant monster, the titular Mostrophus, who goes on a destructive bender, eating everything he sees before getting bored and going to sleep as he's eaten everything, which doesn't sound too dissimilar to my own life, but hey-ho. He then wakes up many years later and basically wrecks Basingstoke, which honestly is hilarious already. So how did the panicking population of this charming English town 27 miles west of my childhood stomping grounds of Guildford deal with Godzilla suddenly terrassing around their neighbourhood? Well, obviously a prog rock singer convinces everyone to sing it to death. You know, obviously. It's so absurd on paper, and almost daft when listening to it. But the musical arrangements, vocal delivery, and pacing of this song is so good that if anything, this cheese enhances it to the next level. I honestly just really wish I could see some of the outtakes and the recording sessions of this song, as there's something to be said about Ted Leonard wailing, "Please don't eat me now!" We get lots of scope for everyone to flex their musical chops here, with guitars, drums, bass and keys working in harmony to create some truly mesmerising soundscapes. Especially I find that the run starting at around 8.5 minutes or so is really, really good, with Okumoto letting loose and showing the world that he has still got it in spades. But really, it's NDV and Ted Leonard trading vocal lines which really elevated this song for me. They take this crazy, ridiculous story, and they really manage to get you invested, especially when the big whoa 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 section kicks in towards the end. It's kind of impossible to not want to sing along and drive back Mostrophus yourself. I mean, this is most assuredly not a Neil Morse era epic. This is quite uniquely Okumoto, and it's fantastic for it. Now, don't get me wrong here. I love a good Neil epic, okay? Like The Door, Seeds of Gold, The Water, World Without End, be it from Spock's Beard or his solo outing, they're all amazing. But he would never have put out something like this. Your mileage will vary on this song, as I say, as your tolerance for cheese might be different to mine. It actually weirdly reminds me a bit of The Astonishing by Dream Theater, but, you know, good. Only thematically, though. The whole power of song winning the day and music being the force that triumphs over evil thing, it feels very similar to that album, but it's otherwise better than that entire record, and somehow remarkably less cheesy. But any doubts that I might have had about this song are banished at around the 16 minutes 40 seconds, when our heroes get the whole of Basingstoke to sing along to defeat the monster. And I just get goosebumps every time. It's a glorious way to end the album, and it cements in my mind just how much fun I've had with this record. So, what else can I say about the myth of the Mostrophus? This is definitely one of my favourite not Beard albums, and probably one of the most entertaining prog rock records to have come out this year. I wouldn't say it's perfect. As mentioned before, you might not appreciate the cheese of the title track, which is a significant chunk of the album, or you might consider this too similar to the most recent output of Ryo's main band for it to stand alone. But regardless, it's an hour of some damn fine musicians having a rollicking good time, and not being afraid to show it. This is all, of course, as usual, my own opinion, as you should well know, so tell me what you thought of this record in the comments below. If you have anything you've listened to this year that you think I should check out, maybe let me know about it. Perhaps I'll get around to giving it my own thoughts. No guarantees, though. If you like this video, please do consider thumbing it, sharing it with anyone who you think might enjoy it, and as usual, and always, the usual YouTuber stuff, ring that bell, sub that content, ring the like button, ooh yeah. Metrics! We love them. Until next time, guys, keep your rhyme signatures odd.